Hi, I'm Lisa Williams. I'm down here at Scienceworks out the front of the Star Wars Where Science Meets Imagination exhibition. I'm talking with Genevieve Fay, who is going to bring that galaxy far, far away a little bit closer to home. Hi Genevieve.
Hi Lisa, and thank you for talking to us today. What we've got is this exhibition from the Museum of Science in Boston, which was a collaboration with Lucasfilms. If you think about the Star Wars movies, the creativity that went into living on other worlds, how they overcame things like transportation, they had robots to help them because the environment's very hostile. So one of the themes of the exhibition is around transportation. So in a lot of the Star Wars movies they use levitation to get around, and so we've got a whole little workshop area where the visitor can actually make their own magnetic levitating vehicles, so that's really good. Also throughout all of the Star Wars movies there's a lot of robotics, so the droids, so C-3PO and of course R2-D2, and some of the others are robots.
And have the kids been enjoying this exhibition?
They certainly have, Lisa. It's been very, very popular. We've had a terrific response from the public. It goes until the 3rd of November, so Cup Day, so there's still time for people to come and see it. With every sort of set of exhibits there are little documentary sort of snippets of interviews with the various different creators of the different parts of how they created those parts of the Star Wars movies.
I hear that the Yoda you've got on display is actually Yoda number 2. The first one has disintegrated a little bit.
Yes, the first one I think was mainly made of latex, and so latex is not very doesn't have a very long life, and so very fragile. So this one, yes, we've got Yoda number 2.
So a lot of the puppets that were made in the first few ones, in the 4, 5 and 6, weren't really made to last. They were just made for a short term, just for the film. They weren't expected to go on display.
Look, I think that applies to all of the artefacts that are in the exhibition. They're all made as film props. But I think what is fantastic about the Lucasfilms is that they've recognised that this series has become part of our culture, and so they've had the foresight to preserve the props as artefacts. So they've cared for them as a museum would care for any artefact which represents, our culture. They're stored, in museum-like conditions, and we have treated them as museum objects, and so they are in environmentally controlled surroundings, and all of the care that you would take, whether it was something from Tutankhamun's tomb to Star Wars, it's treated exactly the same.
So we understand that there were a few conditions on getting Chewbacca here because he's made of yak. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, and not only is he made of yak, but Tauntaun's also made of rat hair. So we actually got advice from the customs on how to treat those objects so that anything that comes into Australia that's made of animal material has special conditions applied to it. All of the objects in here have been treated to make sure that they're appropriately displayed and have got the right conditions.
There's been exhibitions in the past, but this is the first Star Wars one that's come to Melbourne. Previous ones like the Magic and Myth was just Sydney only. So the fact that this is here in Melbourne is actually a big bonus for us, which is why a lot of our people are very, very keen to be a part of it and to help out. And having real costumes and props and all the rest of it from the movies, is really, really good for our state. That's hence the reason why Scienceworks has been as popular as it has been.
Wow, it's the fact that it's the real deal.
A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to see the original props from the movies. Once it's gone, it's gone.
Being on the other side of the world, you would hardly ever get a chance to look at this sort of thing. It's a once-in-a-lifetime ability to see the original props and models that were used in the films.
How are you liking the exhibition, Nick?
Yeah, it's fantastic. More than I thought that it'd be. It's really good. Big kick seeing all the props from straight out of the movies. The Wookiees look really imposing though. They're that big and gruesome.
Do you know that Chewbacca's made out of yak?
No, I didn't.
There's random fact number 1 for you. What was it that got you in the beginning? Was it the spaceships or was it the storyline?
It's a mixture of both. It's a great storyline, and it's got action, it's got the romance there, and
I don't know. I just think it's the whole good versus evil. There's a definite black, definite white sort of thing, but also too, it's just a lot of fun. It's just a fun romp.
the explosions, the big screen explosions, you can't beat that as well.
Yeah, the big explosions. You got to have the big explosions.
So it wasn't Princess Leia and her buns then?
Definitely Princess Leia and her buns.
Alright, so how do you compare Star Wars to Harry Potter and things like that? Doesn't compare without the spaceships?
Things like Lord of the Rings are great too, like the big action movies are all good to watch, but Star Wars is a standout for me, definitely.